Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm here to do another collective creativity reading for those of us in this particular collective here on this channel. And the collective creativity readings are a way for us all to receive support and some guidance, always filtering it through our own intuition and what resonates for you. And this is really about helping us, those of us who identify as creative. Maybe we're nurturing creative projects. Maybe we're working hard on creative goals. But fundamentally, this is all about really being able to have a really strong relationship with our creative spirit and to deepen the degree to which our creativity gets to flow through our lives. There's a lot of wisdom in that part of us. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, hi. Just going to take a moment to take a deep breath. Kind of just settle into whatever's present for us right now. For today's reading, I actually want to begin with a little bit of an exercise. So go ahead and find a place you can write something down. You can also drop your response to this in the comments if you want, but if you'd like to keep it somewhere else, find something. I'm getting a really loving invitation for all of us to soften up and be honest about stuff that we're wishing for. So let's just take a moment and relax. And yeah, I think being honest about our wishes sometimes actually requires a lot of softening, particularly around our hearts, because, I think we tend to see wishing as something for children only, or in the world of professional coaching, wishing is often regarded through a really disempowering lens. Like if you're wishing for something, you're abdicating your power and agency to go and create it. And I think wishing is actually, and I think how we're being asked to be with it right now, it's actually a very pure way to access our heart's desire or something that we're longing for. So let's just take a moment and write down maybe what are some of the wishes I have right now. And just don't judge it. And we'll check in with the cards after this. You can keep writing if you like. And if you're complete with your wish writing, just want to take a moment and kind of check in. What's the experience of quieting down to be with wishes? How do you feel? Is it unusual? What parts of you are awake when you do this? Yeah. So I think we're going to do something with the wishes through the course of this reading. I don't know what it will be. We'll have to wait and see. So I think our first card today, since we were just really vulnerable, looking at our wishes and our creativity, I think that we're gonna do like overarching message, animal spirit deck. Hope y'all are doing well. And I want to thank you all so much for everybody who has been reaching out to me about my show with my band. Talk about a wish. My God. It was so wonderful. We're on a little bit of a hiatus before we start practicing again, and it's actually really good because it's giving me some room to kind of like keep digesting and processing, and maybe like chilling out a little bit because I was like really on a high after the show, but just giving me some room to kind of recalibrate with like, you know, what do I want to bring to the table and what wishes do I have for what we're gonna do. We'll see. Also, I don't know why, but I want to share with you all about this friendship bracelet that I have on. The weekend of the show at the Rosendale Street Festival, we performed on Sunday, and I went to the Street Fest the day before to kind of like see some other acts and like get to know the festival and see our stage and stuff. And there was a group of girls that had a booth, and they were selling friendship bracelets that they had made. It was so cute. And I bought one for each of the people in my band, including myself. And everybody's had a message on it. And I picked them out like specifically for everybody. And I had picked out joy for me because that felt like the right answer. And then I was like, no, I think the one I need is pink lemonade. And it was like calling to me. And I think just because like, I don't know, pink lemonade is like such a cute, sweet thing. And it was just making me feel really like girlish and happy. And I mean, a funnier interpretation would be that I had such a horrible sunburn that week on my face. I was like looking like pink lemonade. But anyway, yeah, so that's this. All right. Again, with wishes, what's the overarching message for us with our wishes? What do we need to know right now? B. Wow. Look at that. I'm sort of giggling because this keeps happening with this deck when I'm using it for our readings. The B is the card of my August, which is the month ahead. So that's interesting. But anyway, let's take a look and see what Animal Spirit deck has to say about the B. B, earnest, hardworking, democratic. The B personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities, until they're too tired from all the work, and then they gripe and then sting. Yeah, okay. When in balance, content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring into balance, a mini vacation. Wow, B. I feel like this card is giving us so much permission to, like, just choose to be worthy of our wishes coming true and do some work on them and, like, have a good time showing up for that. I'm also a little bit marveling at B because I've recently been having like some kind of interesting bee-related encounters. I don't know how to say that in a way that doesn't sound weird, but I just said that. And one of my friends, Chelsea, who I recently interviewed on this channel, we did a really cool conversation about dreams and intuition and connectivity. So you can check that out if you want to. I was sharing about this ritual, this dream, and this ritual that I created for myself earlier this spring involving some bees. And some of you might remember when we first moved into our house, we actually had a wee bit of a bee problem. We had a whole bee colony move into part of our house. Anyway, I've been getting very strong signals about the Melissa, and the Melissa are I'm kind of new to this, so I feel like I'm going to botch this, but largely it's a goddess energy related to art and the sweetness of life and nourishment and community. And I think that's another aspect of the message of bee when it comes to the animal spirit deck is a bee is part of a whole, right? You don't have a colony of bees making something amazing without every single bee, every unique bee. So I don't know. That's just, it's the message is coming in as take care of yourself, be creative, be excited, let yourself feel worthy of your wishes and move toward them. Look, this bee is so cute and so fuzzy. I love it. Wow, thank you, animal spirit. That's unexpected and lovely. I think for a little bit of further clarification, we're going to go into Sacred Destiny. Just continuing to welcome nature and kind of letting nature speak to us. Look at this community from my last reading for myself. Also very bee oriented, right? Community. For those of you who are curious, I know you can't see the table in front of me, but the way that I read is I shuffle, I spread them out so that they each kind of have a location and an equal chance of being selected. And then I close my eyes and I can almost see behind my eyelids. It's almost like something is showing me where to place my finger, and that's how I choose the card. I know people have different ways that they do it. This is the one that seems to speak to me. Voyage. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. I received this card just a couple of days ago. Look. One of my favorite things about this card, besides the fact that it's an ocean, the moon, whales, is that there's a small whale being carried by a large whale. And I feel like this card is telling us that by working diligently towards our wishes, we are going on a journey that is guided by our soul. It's guided by something much larger than just our current willpower. That we're embarking upon something that might even be bigger and larger and deeper than what we currently can conceptualize. And that this begins with just choosing to be worthy of the voyage, choosing to be worthy of your having your wishes, you know. Let's see what the deck says about it. Okay, let's see. Humpback whale. Humpback whales make the longest journey of any mammal. They travel 14,000 miles, 22,000 kilometers every year. They spend the summer months near polar regions, and in the winter, they journey toward the equator to tropical waters. Among some native tribes, whales are considered to be protectors of travelers and journeyers, as well as guardians of the sea. This card indicates that no matter what your journey is and where it takes you, you have protectors at your side. You have protectors at your side. Okay. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Get ready. You are about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or idea that is coming to life. But most certainly, you are an intrepid traveler, sallying forth into the unknown. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to do or be? This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared, have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. This is part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. Yeah, wow. I feel like if I was a whale, I would enjoy every journey because I would be in the water, which is my favorite place to be. Wow, that's really lovely. It's really lovely. The other thing really speaking to me about this card right now is the sort of like dreamlike quality of this. Like, this scene doesn't happen in real life. It does feel like it's out of a dream. Even the colors look a lot like a lot of water-based dreams that I've had before. And also the fact that it's, you know, the moon is out. It's kind of a nocturnal scene. This is also making me think that at the time of recording this, we've just had a full moon in Leo. Like the Lion's Gate is opening up for the year. Lion's Gate, the 8/8 portal. I feel like one of the messages I'm really getting for the Lionsgate portal this year, usually I feel like I'm kind of riding high on it. Like my birthday is 8/8, you know, it's sort of like my time. But I'm feeling a lot of like receptive, humble energy around Lionsgate this year. Like a request actually. Like I feel like my energy, I'm like making a request. Maybe of this bigger whale that's protecting me, to really have my back during this time, during what feels like a very transitionary space, letting go of a lot of armor and kind of just asking to be not only protected, but also kind of guided. And yeah, like, I don't know what I don't know, and I can't see what I can't see. So really just requesting that the Lionsgate provide a lot of support during this time. Wow. So I'm thinking that it's probably time to return to our wishes. Let's see. So return to wherever it is that you wrote these down, and I'd like you to write this sentence at the bottom of that page, wherever that's happened. And the question that I'd like you to ask is, who are these wishes asking me to become? Who are these wishes asking me to become? And I'm going to do some reflection on this outside of making a video, but I know right off the bat that my wishes are asking me to become like, I almost said like adorably Delulu. Maybe just like letting myself believe in like a new kind of magic, the support of others. Who are these wishes asking me to become? Someone who is fulfilled. Also, for whatever reason, the word that keeps coming to me about this for me is champion. Gotta explore that one. Anyway, this is one of the cool opportunities in ontological coaching. Ontology is the study of being. It's what I practice. And yeah, this collective obviously is kind of part of that. Really getting to use these card readings to explore like different parts of ourselves, different ways of being, different like textures of ourselves that we can bring to different parts of our lives to see different things grow. So I think for a very last kind of like what to do from here, I'm feeling strongly we go for White Light Oracle, which is kind of funny. I don't usually go to this one for like actions, but I think for whatever reason, that's kind of what I'm being told to do. It is a really vulnerable thing to wish for something. Really vulnerable. Because it has us admitting our desires, which is really challenging for adults to do. Years ago when we had our first West of Wonderland New Year's gathering online, we call it a gathering, but it's really a workshop because, you know, Bae and I love to coach. And I led a guided meditation where we had people imagine that they're looking into the mirror of Erised to see their heart's desire. It's really lovely. Okay. All right. Let's see. Action plan. Help us. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Queen of the Nagas. Ugh. Yeah. It's so funny. So much water imagery in this reading. Like, go be in the water. Be in the cleansing waters. Go be a whale. I mean, you don't have to tell me to go back and swim in the lake. I'm going to do it. Happily. Okay, let's see. Queen of the Nagas. The number is 5. Let's see. 5. Let's just learn about the number 5 a little bit. In numerology, the number 5 is often associated with freedom, adventure, and change. So we're talking about change, adaptation. Yeah, that tracks. All right, Queen of the Nagas. A sacred A sacred task exists for you to fulfill. It is to be found through connection to your heart. Just like your wish. Be open only to those most authentic teachings which prove helpful to your continued spiritual progress and personal freedom. Cleansing your body, mind, heart, and soul will be of particular benefit at this time. Powerful, subtle energies are helping ensure your success. Believe that many positive synchronicities and unexpected allies will rally to support you. Wow. Yeah, so a lot of the messages in this reading are about water as a way to purify, water as a source of ritual, water also as a source of energy that needs to be cleansed and can sometimes get polluted. So maybe as some next steps, the opportunity here is to look for some rituals that you can create for yourself that involve water and cleansing and purifying. So maybe it's a ceremonial dip in the lake. Maybe it is just going downstairs and getting a nice cold glass of water, bless it with love, drink it on down. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you have crystals that you love and they kind of need to be cleansed, you know? Maybe instead of whatever you normally do to cleanse them, you literally wash them in water, you know? I don't know. But Queen of the Nagas is really all about this sense of purification being a way to move towards the desires of our heart. So thank you. Wowee. Awesome. Well, if you're feeling brave, share a little bit in the comments about what this exploration of wishes has opened up. Definitely keep in touch and let us know when your wishes come true. And as always, thank you so much for joining me today on the Creativity Broadcast. I will see you soon. All right, bye.